Yo, what's going on? This is the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm here with, of course, the one, the only, who's not going to hurt you unless you turn her green. Heather Hurt. How are you, Heather?
Good. Apparently, I'm a ghost because I can't get my lighting fixed. So I apologize for the bright lights.
So instead of green, it's the bright white. It's the bright.
Yeah, I have this skin pigmentation problem where I don't have any.
all the love to you, though, my friend. All the love. You are an ally, regardless of all of that. It's all love. So, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. You know, we've been loving this series, but do we love episode 7, The Retreat? As y'all know, if you've been checking us out all season long of She-Hulk, we've been breaking it down. We'll give you the story, our thoughts on the characters that are involved, and our review. So let me toss it over to Heather, who's going to break down episode 7, The Retreat.
So it all starts with a couple dates that Jen decides to go on with her new guy pal that she met at the wedding. And she takes it slow. Even for Jen's standards, she seems to be taking this new relationship where someone who likes Jen versus She-Hulk. She wants to take it slow, see how it goes. But you know, it only takes a couple dates of romanticism to get her all excited and ready to be with him in a more romantic way. But like many men, he decided to hit it and quit it, it appears, because the moment that they had fun, and yes, she does say some really corny things, but the moment that they had a good night, he just poofs, he vanishes. Several days later, while she's just anxiously sitting there awaiting a response from him, she gets a notice that Emil Blonsky's anklet went off, and that could mean a handful of things. You know, he might have gone full abomination. He might have ran from the compound that he is, you know, designated to. But his gender is fictional, so you know, his, her, whatever. Now I'm just stuck. She gets a call from his parole officer, and he says that, you know, the police, there's a shortage of police, and, you know, having a Hulk against an abomination might help. So she is whisked away up to his compound. Well, she drives there to meet his parole officer, where they find that it looks like Blonsky's anklet just malfunctioned. It appears it just malfunctioned. And she can go home, you know, up and down, quick trip. Or so she thinks. The Emil is currently doing kind of a supervillain anger management camp, and during that time, her car gets completely destroyed, and she is stuck there waiting a tow truck. I just can't speak English. I'm sorry, guys. And during that time, she gets to deal with that one thing that the Hulk always has a problem with: anger. And we'll get to the end later on. So that's for the rest of it.
All right, there we go. Heather, thank you for knocking out the story. Again, we'll break out with a little bit more with the review, because I think we wanted to kind of keep it in that vein, so I'm cool with that. But for the cast, as always, returning our Jennifer Walters, our She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany is back. Of course, Nikki Ramos, Ginger Gonzaga, and some other returning favorites, and introducing some new cast of characters, especially when we head over to the retreat. Tim Roth, Emil Blonsky, and then actually what I wanted to mention before I got to the retreat, Josh, our character of Josh Miller, the one who stands up, our She-Hulk. You let me down, brother. You let me down. Well, the character let me down, because it was a Filipino brother playing him. Shout out to Trevor Salter, who did a great job. Had my hopes up high with episode 6 at the wedding. A new, you know, person to be a love interest for my She-Hulk, but then you let me down. It started off good at the beginning, and actually up until the very end of this episode, which I shall not spoil. We'll talk again in the review segments. I was like, okay, there's probably a reason. Hopefully, a reason. I just didn't want him to let Tatiana down, our Jennifer Walters down, but you know, she goes to this retreat, and you know, she gets the support from an amazing group of characters who we'd never think would give her that kind of support. But yeah, Josh Miller's character. I'm sorry, I'm into this particular episode, especially I have feelings because of this. But Trevor Salter plays our Josh Miller. My apologies, y'all, that I got sidetracked. I'm supposed to be giving you the cast and the characters, but you just made me feel some kind of way. Trevor Salter, Josh Miller. Again, Retreat. Emil Blonsky is back. Tim Roth, the amazing Tim Roth. Tim Roth cannot do any wrong. We've loved him from years, and now again doing a bang up job as our Abomination, our Emil Blonsky. But we have this great cast of characters that we're meeting, and some deep cuts. Shout out to the production team. I know Heather has a lot of love for this. As a comic fan, as nerds as we are nerds rule the world. They got some deep cuts brewing with this characters that are here for the retreat to find new things with their lives. So let's throw some love to Thunderball, aka Justin Eaton. Man Bull, what? Played by Nathan Hurd. Saracen, Terrence Chloe, and Porcupine, Jordan Aaron Ford. Wow. El Aguila, Joseph Castillo Midyet. And of course, I mentioned him in a previous episode as well, Wrecker, played by Nick Gomez, who may or may not be dating a friend of mine. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't make a connection there. So like, hey brother, come talk to me. I do a show. Can we talk? Can we talk? But my left is my girl Jacqueline. Again, shout out, and Nick Gomez is back as the Wrecker. We also have our parole officer, Chuck Donnellan, played by John Pruicello, that I think did a great job. Some comedic stuff there. Some good stuff there. Shout out to the tow truck guy, David Sardi, and not really acting in the film, but she is acting via CGI. Our on-set She-Hulk reference, Malia Araya, who helps get that camera work done right for, portraying Jennifer Walters for Tatiana Maslany. She's our real life She-Hulk and is killing it. So shout out to Malia Araya. Let's bring this all together on screen. There you go. Those are your actors in this. A great bunch of cast. I think it was well cast. I just love the deep cut to go into our review right now. Heather, when you saw that and like we were given that, it was like goodness that we never knew we wanted, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This episode did like just a whole bunch of really fun just cameos. And I guess they're a little bigger than cameos, but like this show being the center point of the rest of the MCU is just like, it's delicious. And what makes it even sweeter is that there's a huge swath of MCU viewers who are not watching the show and are missing out on some of the greatest moments in MCU. Just dumb. MCU dumb.
Yeah. I would never think I'd see Porcupine live action. What?
Why not?
That's the most easily recognizable one, right?
Yeah.
Because of the costume, and so shout out to Jordan Aaron Ford, who gave us our Porcupine. And that amazing moment when they, again, you should already hopefully seen this episode. I don't think we've ever said that we're not going to do spoilers, but he takes off the mask and
it's
never
gnarly.
something I've always wanted, but the reaction, classic. I love that scene. And Man Bull, what? Mm-hmm. Just like some of these characters had to do deep diving. I was like the Saracen character, like the vampire-like guy. I wasn't quite sure. I was somewhat, but then I was like, oh yeah. Like I had to do it made me want to, pull up like the Marvel IMDb, if you will. Like, let me find out about, was that? Oh, okay. Some deep cuts that was just super dope. But let's kick off the episode. So we have our Shulky, our Jen, dating our guy Josh. And then does Josh let us down? What's happening here? But then, yeah, I felt some kind of way, Heather.
Did you? So let's talk about. So we're gonna talk about the ending here for a second, just because we kind of have to.
Are we talking the ending, like the after
like the
credit?
ending of the episode? Yeah. So because it involves Josh.
Yes.
So
it does.
How much did you feel that was coming in the last episode, in episode 6?
There was a little tinge as the writer, the creative in me had that as a slight possibility, but the fan wanting her to Shulky sorry if I'm calling her Shulky now, because I remembered there used to be a thing and now it's a thing again. I'm sorry. Jen, our She-Hulk, wanting her to just be in love. And I love the fact that it was a Filipino love interest. Wanting that to just exist was overpowering the creative in me, where there's a possible ulterior motive on his behalf, and just wanting her to have love, and it being a Filipino dude. And now he's evil to me.
He can still be a proud Filipino man. Just, there's a little
He's
evil.
Dead to me now. He's dead to me. I'm sorry. You don't do my girl Jen like that.
That's fair. That's fair. So I'm going to use it as a really good example of one of the big complaints that I've seen on the interwebs about the show is the clichéness of a lot of the series. And I actually wasn't surprised. I wish I was more surprised at his betrayal, but like the entire last episode gave us so much of it that I was just like, this girl is about to be cheated on. Like, this was my perspective. Like, it was either going to be that he was part of the secret spy, science lab thing, or it was going to be something real dumb, like he had bet a whole bunch of his friends that he could, get in bed with She-Hulk. Like, it was going to be one of those two really silly cliches. I'm not saying cliches are bad, because hey, we have literally over a decade of MCU cliches. That's not the problem.
I'm sorry, to just butt in that little arena there. The Filipino in me wanting it to be something very Filipino. Real talk, and because Marvel has been so good on knowing their audience and the cultural specificities of their audience with the product that they're doing now, right? So, it could have been a wild Filipino thing that, we get pulled in so many different angles. Like, I had to do something for my mom, my Lola. Like, we cannot, or just somebody in general, a female representative family, because we're such, our Lola, our grandmothers, and then our mothers, there's a pool that we as female Filipino men do for them, and will do anything and put everything to the side. So I really wanted it to be something like that. But then again, like, the creative and the fans of these films and know how the tropes of things can be, knew that was going to be there, but just not wanting it to happen. But that would have been a cool cultural element that I think would have been there had to be an excuse. Like, please let there be a legitimate excuse that he's a good guy. No, he let me down, and you're dead to me, Josh.
There is the ongoing theme throughout comics that there is always hope. So,
optimism.
But I wish I could say I was surprised by that. But the good news is that there was a lot of other really incredible surprises in this film, and the Blade references, I am just
so
happy.
Yeah. So this retreat, right? Like, everything we never knew we wanted. Like the pull from old stuff, but just again, then like when they came together as a group and then helping her find herself, like they were all for her. Like, I loved that bond that, like, I need this retreat gang to come back now. Like, I need more of this, every individual character within the retreat. Like, I need a spin-off episode, people. Like, this is amazing.
Well, we're going to get spin-offs. We had a mutant in there, and that's technically number 2. And for everyone who is calling Kamala Khan a mutant, it breaks my heart. Please stop calling her that. She's an Inhuman, not a mutant. Please stop. I know that technically Inhumans don't exist at this time, but don't. She has a legacy on purpose. Please don't. But we do have another mutant. We have another science experiment. We have a vampire. And we have a lot of really great points that we will get spinoffs, because it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, and it's incredible. And I mean, one of them, we might even see a vampire sooner than expected, because a certain horror movie is coming out in a couple days too.
This episode was great, right? Like, this retreat, this building, and then finding each other, that connection that they all found together and shared, and her breaking her through a breakup. Like, let's come outside of the superhero element. Just like the best of friends you've always wanted to have, you know, and just the human element was just so near and dear and touching.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, it's we keep cycling back to the word, but the humanization of this series is the greatest part about it. It's we have a She-Hulk show, but it's not about She-Hulk. It is about the person who Jen is, and it's about the people that are around her that bring her up, that cycle through her life. It's a procedural show. It's a family show. It's a friend show. It's a comedy, but it really at no point have I felt like this is a superhero show, and that's great.
Yeah, but it is, and they just happen to be, and that's amazing too. Like, again, the character pulls from this that we got that just I never thought I'd see Porcupine, man. Like that costume, and then the whole making fun of when are you gonna ever the first time you took the mask off and like
Put it back on. Put it back on.
It was hilarious and just so good, and just the messing up her car when Manbull and El Aguila were fighting each other. Like, you're gonna my car, people. Like, just those elements, and just Tim Roth, just hands down, just another great episode. I can't talk it up enough. But then the betrayal, Josh, at the very end, just another, this was a filler episode in a way, I guess, if you will, because we did sidetrack from the regular story, but it was good.
I don't think this was a continuation of a filler. I think this was a plot point, because here's the question.
Oh yeah.
Was the anklet truly accidentally, was it broken? Did something happen? Or was she there on purpose for a very specific reason? Did her car get beat up for a specific reason? Was there a member of the wrecking crew there for a specific reason? Is Blonsky said he was going to be there with literally a harem of women. Where are these women? Did he actually go up to this place in the distant woods with no Wi-Fi for a specific reason, and they're not there? Like, one of the best things about this is it brought me back in, because the last couple of episodes I've been like, I like it, but not I love it anymore. This episode brought me right back, because it felt like it was back to the plot.
Got you. I feel that. I love showing what comics and these type of shows can do. And so again, they gave me what I exactly wanted. So fun ride. Okay, since we already gave spoilers at the very end, what do you think is ultimately brewing with, getting the blood or doing whatever Josh is up to? Damn you, Josh. That I guess was tied to the wrecking crew, because again, he was with them, and Jen noticed Wrecker right away. Shout out again to my homie Nick Gomez, who I hope to be my homie, because you're dating a good friend of mine. So what's up with that? Like, what do you think is going on? Obviously, like you said, you think there's no Wi-Fi. Are these people that were really nice acting because they're trying to cover for something? But yeah. And any ideas, any thoughts?
I think that there's going to be something we're going to see. I think that the episode that literally drops tomorrow because of my zaniness over the past week. I'm sorry. But it's one of those where I think that there's going to be a lot happening in the next 2 episodes. There's going to be a lot happening. We have 2 more left. So
really? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have 8, 9.
This is 7, so there's only 9 episodes we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Why? I need more.
So what's really going to be fun is to see if this becomes like other Marvel shows where we want more, but we got 9 versus we got 6, and that was still not enough. I'm curious, but no matter what, something's going to happen, something big. Hulking is going to, in that organization, they haven't even confirmed which organization it is. They're clearly trying to replicate something, and it'll be interesting to see what, and if Blonsky is a part of it.
I hope he's good. I want them. I loved how they all came together in this. If they were acting or not, because they're trying to cover up for something else. I just loved how they all bonded, and they came. That was just beautiful. And Josh, he let me down. But if in order to get that bonding, and Josh had to do what he did, I'll I'll take Josh becoming a bad guy in order for me to get this great moment and just these characters. A fun ride. Episode 7, The Retreat. So yeah, we're gonna be dropping our other one soon. Because again,
Literally.
as of this recording, it'll be coming out, and so we'll record our thoughts on that leading into the last episode. But y'all, I need more She-Hulk, y'all. I can't just have this 9. So Heather, if they want to talk about the episode, how can they reach out to you?
If you want to talk to me about any comic related thing or She-Hulk in general, you can reach out to me at Nerd is a Heather on Twitter and at Heather is a Nerd on IG and TikTok. I'm sorry.
All the love, my friend. And for me, it's the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. And of course, here with Heather and the whole squad at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Bye.